Friday night at the Stafford Motor Speedway, and our 5 weekly divisions are back in action for the first time in 2 weeks. It's also a special event for the SK Modifieds, the second leg of the Sign Pro Triple Crown, the Call Before You Dig Senator's Cup. There's a lot of action down in the bustling pit road area, so let's send it down to Tim Perkoski, who's with one of our SK Modified drivers who had a fantastic showing in leg 1 of the SK Modified Triple Crown.
Thanks, Matt. Starting off with a driver tonight who is no stranger to Stafford Motor Speedway. Ran a lot of laps here over the years, and basically every division you could possibly run in. You found wins in every division as well. And Brian Arducci. Brian, what brought you back here in this number 1 SK Modified?
I like these Triple Crown races because of the plus minus and no actual weekly handicapping because if you don't come to every race, the weekly handicapping, it penalizes you to start towards the back. So it's really tough to come through the field in these SK Modified races. Everybody's so close. So I think that's kind of what draws me. And, I own my own engine but don't have a car. Luckily, Todd Owen, Chassis Pro, he's gracious enough to let me use his cars. So try to do as many as I can, and here we are.
Brian, you've won in just about every division here at the Speedway, and we know you got a fast race car. Back earlier in the season, you ran the extra distance race, started up front, 3rd. You ended up finishing 4th, which was a great run for you. What more do you need to get this one thing in victory lane?
I think we just needed a little more drive that race. About lap 50, I started to get a little free and started to lose some side bite. So if we could just nail that down and stay good for all 50 tonight, it's 30 laps shorter tonight. So pretty much hammered down from the drop of the green, which is more my style. So hopefully we can be a couple spots better and end up in Napa victory lane.
Well, you're no stranger here at the racetrack. You do just about everything. You work on cars, you spot, all that sort of thing. How's it feel to be back in the race car tonight?
It's great. There's no substitute for being behind the wheels. So long night tonight racing, and then picking up my buddy Mike Christopher Jr. at the airport after he runs the truck race tonight, and going up to Monadnock to spot for him in the tour race tomorrow. So busy weekend, and hopefully we can cap the night off with a win.
Brian Arducci's looking to get it done tonight in the SK Modified division. We're going to send it to Matt now, who is with a street stock second-year driver who's having a pretty decent run lately.
Thanks, Tim. I'm caught up with second-year street stock driver Colton Gamacorda. And Colton, the story of this division this year has been the dominance of the 75 Ryan Waterman. 2 weeks ago in this division, you took it to him, nearly got the win. And just what has it been like to race against that 75 this year? He's been so strong, but you really took it to him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. He's a good driver. He's got a good car, but last week we started to figure something out, and that was definitely a big confidence booster. So hopefully tonight, see what we have, maybe we could beat him.
Been racing in these big cars at the racetrack for just about 2 years now. What have you learned from drivers like Ryan, like your father, who's here next to you working on his late model, and other drivers in the pits? And what have you learned just from your experience on the track that has helped you so much in this second year?
Well, mostly in my division of street stocks, you got to watch in the front on the starts, so just keep your eyes up and follow the fast guys to the front if you're not in front of them already.
So, given that you were so close to the 75 a couple of weeks ago, what have you been doing over the past couple of weeks, and what do you have to do tonight to just get that little bit better and end up in victory lane?
Just been doing the fine-tuning, you don't want to change too much stuff because you're already good and you're close to him, so just follow him, see what he's doing on the track, see if there's anything he's doing that you can learn, and yeah.
Colton Gamacorda looks to bring the fight to the dominant 75 of Ryan Waterman tonight in the street stock division. Let's send it down the pits to Tim, who's with an SK Light rookie looking to make his name at Stafford.
We're with an SK Light Modified driver who makes a pretty long trip every week to get here to the Speedway, and Chad Jones. Chad, first of all, welcome to the racetrack here for your first full-time season. What brought you to Stafford Motor Speedway?
My buddy Joey that helps me indoors, he convinced me to come practice his car last year and then ran a race the end of the year. And then Ken Barry, crew chief for me indoors, and said, you should come try running one of my cars. So we decided to do it, put a car together, and here we are.
So you're surrounded by some big names here at the Speedway who got you here into the track and coming here week after week. What have you learned from those guys that have helped you get a little bit better week after week?
They're teaching me a ton, and we've been changing a ton of stuff on the car to get me more comfortable in it. I've driven mostly midgets, so this is a big change from driving a midget.
You had a really rough start of the season. You and I talked a few times, and man, unfortunately, they weren't in the right spots on the racetrack to be talking. Middle part of the season, things started trending in the right direction for you. What more do you need out of this SK Light Modified in order to get it forward just a little bit more?
Yeah, definitely. Was a rough start to the season. Got wrecked 2 or 3 times. We just need a little bit more drive coming off, and Ken made a bunch of changes this week, so hopefully we'll have it.
Changes indeed. Chad Jones is looking to move this thing in the right direction, move it to the front of the pack. I'm going to send it down to Matt right now, who is with a limited late model driver who's making his return to the Speedway full-time.
Tim down from the SK Light Modifieds back over to the limited late model pits. I've caught up with number 88 of Dwayne Provost. And Dwayne, you're a 2-time division champion here at Stafford Motor Speedway in the limited late models, but you took a couple of years off. So what's brought you back to the Speedway here in 2026?
Yeah, I had a conversation with my buddy RJ, and you can only stay away for so long and get the urge to come back. And I'd already sold my car and most of my equipment. So I was talking to RJ, and he had a car that he wasn't, using. So we worked out a deal and put it together, and here we are. So it was kind of started off, I wasn't sure if I was going to just race a few races, but it was doing pretty good. So I said, all right, let's see what we can make out of the year, and learning a little bit more on it every week, and getting a little bit faster every week. So looking forward to see what we can do before the end of the year.
Yeah, so how do you evaluate the first couple of months of the year? Like you said, you've been learning a lot, but you're a winner in the division, you're a track champion. How do you evaluate getting your feet wet here, and how do you evaluate the start of the season for you?
The competition here is great in this division. There's a lot of good drivers coming from a lot of different areas. You got Jeremy, who I raced with back in the day, and a lot of the guys that had just started out when I was my last couple years limited, like 2018, 19. They've gotten a lot better and a lot more competitive. So it's fun out there racing. Just try to be doing as clean as I can, and not get into anybody, and learn the car and get a little faster. So that's the objective anyway.
Been a really solid season, 7th in points, 3 top 5s, but you're still chasing that elusive win. So what do you have to do to this race car to get it in victory lane where we all know you want to be?
Well, I like to say, the driver is 25%, car is 25%, and luck is the other 50%. So getting everything to line up on the right night, you get your tires that you're moving around, and trying to get them for the right laps, and then getting the car set up in the right. And sometimes there's other gremlins that come out through the car, and just lining all those things up. And then if you can do that and have a decent starting position, and have a good race, then you got a pretty good chance of winning. So I think we're getting close. It's just I think we just need that luck a little bit. So.
Dwayne Provost looks to get back into victory lane. The 2-time limited late model champion has had a great return to the Speedway in 2026. It's Call Before You Dig Senators Cup night here, 50 laps in the second leg of the SK Modified Triple Crown event for the Sign Pro Series. Let's send it up to the booth for all the action.
Well, we're in for an incredible night of competition. It's one of the top 10 evenings of 2026. You couldn't pick a more perfect night. And of course, as we just learned, it's Call Before You Dig night. They had a display set up at the entrance where you came in after you purchased your tickets. Call Before You Dig, you'll be hearing a lot about that as well. In addition to that, our safety services field is about ready to assemble in the center of the infield area. We want to remind you, if you're a first-time visitor to Stafford Speedway, that this is a non-smoking grandstand. You are not allowed to smoke in the main grandstand area or the grandstand area off turn number 4. There are other locations that you can smoke, but the grandstand is not one of them. Please be courteous to the other race fans that come in attendance. Remember, that means vaping as well. Joining me tonight, Kyle Rickey is away on assignment in Indianapolis, and he's got some big news that we'll be talking about in a little bit. Joining me is a gentleman who covers turn number 4 here at the Speedway, or turn 3, depending on how you look at it. And he's my good friend and colleague, and one of the best in the business on the flow presentation of the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour on pit road and behind the scenes. Tonight, he is the star up here in Broadcast Central. Bonzo, we always have a good time when we do this together, and I think tonight is a picture-perfect setting for an event that is very important to a lot of those SK drivers because money is on the line. The Senators Cup and the Prestige is not your ordinary event presented by Call Before You Dig.
Well, this event is not ordinary for me. I feel like I'm in the wrong spot. I feel like I should be outside in turn 4 between the suites. But, yeah, the Senators Cup has been around for several years now, Stafford. It is part of the Sign Pro Triple Crown, and Call Before You Dig has been a supporter of the Senators Cup over the last few years. And the guy who has dominated this event was Mike Christopher Jr.
Absolutely.
He won the last 3 events, but you mentioned Indianapolis. He's racing at Indianapolis Raceway Park tonight. That being said, it does open up the door for a new driver to win this event. I say new. You still have guys like Keith Rocco who won this event 4 years ago, 5 years ago now, after he had an amazing battle with Todd Owen. And since 2021, we've seen a brand new crop of SK Modified drivers rise to the occasion with Keith.
And, you know, you look at practice today, Keith Rocco was the quickest on the chart. Andrew Moeller, a former champion of the Speedway, was second fastest in the Hummel's Hot Dog Machine. And then our defending champion, Jonathan Pulio, rounded out the top 3. Glenn Reed, no surprises among the top 5. And, of course, Troy Talman, our recent winner, would round out our top 5 with Tyler Chapman and Tyler Hines right directly behind them. So those are some of the stories, and we've got more. Let's go briefly before we bring out our first of our qualifiers. Michael Christopher just isn't running at Indy. Tell him where he's starting.
He's starting 11th. Mike Christopher Jr. starting 11th in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series event at Indianapolis Raceway Park. A track slightly bigger than Stafford, but relatively flat like this half mile. So I think that might fall into his advantage. Granted, at that track, you run the top compared to here. Now, you can try and run the top here at Stafford. Will you have success?
Not necessarily.
Not as much success. but in the SK Light Modifieds, you will see drivers try the outside line and have success in it.
You certainly do. And, of course, we welcome each and every one of you. We remind you that Napa is the official auto parts stores here at the Stafford Speedway. Napa says, get up and go, and they mean what they say, welcoming you, the race fans. In addition to that, we remind you that Monaco Ford is a proud sponsor of our safety vehicles and the racing action here at the Speedway. They have 2 convenient locations, one for over 100 years in Glastonbury, Connecticut, and a newer location in Niantic, Connecticut. If you can't get to them, they'll come to you. They've got some great incentives, some great deals, and one of the best inventories on new and used Ford products. So check them out if you would. Check out the billboards on the back straightaway, Bonza. We know these are people that support racing. They support us, and anytime that you go into one of these businesses that you see advertising, make sure that you always tell them that you heard about it here at Stafford Speedway and you're a huge race fan.
It amazes me how Stafford added more billboards in the last couple of years. In fact, now we have double-decker billboards, 2 levels, and they all still get filled. That just shows how many people love racing and support Stafford Speedway and help this racetrack become what it is. It takes a whole big team, whether it's us in the press box, the Aru family who lead all of this, the sponsors, the fans here at the track enjoying this beautiful day. It takes an army, and it's a very strong army at that.
It certainly is. And, of course, tonight's program, to give you a quick rundown, we'll open up the program with our street stock qualifying heats of 5 laps. Then we'll go to the SK Light Modifieds. Limited late models will be our 3rd group of cars to qualify. 4th group will be the SK Modifieds. There will be no late model qualifying events for this evening's program. Top 15 eligible cars in the points will be handicapped for their feature event starting lineup. Their feature after the opening ceremonies will be the first feature event of the night. The feature order will be the Street Stock 2nd, SK Light Modifieds 3rd, Limited Late Models 4th, and the SK Modified, the Call Before You Dig Senators Cup, will be the final 50-lap event. Bonza, it looks like we've got some action off turn number 4.
The first street stock heat race rolls out, and starting on the pole is the Rico's Pizza LaJoy's Auto Wrecking number 71. From Stamford, Connecticut, it's Marvin Minkler.
Outside row number 1, the Ballard Truck Center, number 19. From Sutton, Massachusetts, he was a standout at Thompson Speedway. He calls Stafford his home, Scott Sundee.
Inside the second row, one of our winners this season in the SK Property Maintenance IMC Manufacturing featuring number 55, Southampton, Massachusetts, Brandon Warren.
In the fourth starting spot is the Universal Drive Shaft machine. From Ellington, Connecticut, young talent on the rise. You saw him in the pre-session on our big screen. Car number 32, Colton Gambacorta.
Starting fifth is the Ace Hardware of Litchfield, number 63, from Goshen, Connecticut, Roger Mayhew.
Then we go to car number 13. That, of course, is Matt Martell. From Stafford Springs, Connecticut, Charlie's Towing, Diamond Ledge Heating and Cooling.
In position number 7 from Chicopee, Massachusetts, in the 00 Steve's Import Auto Repair Machine, it's Brennan Mersda.
And starting scratch, the JHS Restoration Car. From East Hartford, Connecticut, it is Tyler Trott. The handicap or preferred positions will be 6. The number of laps will be 5. On the starter stand is our good buddy TJ up there, along with Mike Helberg. Cross flags in hand, and we're about ready to get things kicked off with a picture-perfect night for auto racing here at the half mile. They head down the back straightaway. Lights are off on the safety vehicle. Remember, lights provided by Wheeland Engineering. First names in light, sirens, and safety services used throughout the world. As they head into turn number 3, they're 2x2 and 2x2 as we're set to get them fired up. Here's Bonza with a start of this evening's Call Before You Dig Senators Cup program.
Let's get the fun underway right here, right now. Green flag is out. The first heat of the night is underway. As they make their way into turn 1, Colton Gambacorta finds his way to the inside line behind Warren, while Minkler and Sundin remain door-to-door for the lead.
Down the back straightaway, it appears that Minkler has a slight advantage. They're closer than most people park as they dial into turn number 3. Sundin with the advantage. Black car to the outside. Red car challenging to the inside. 2x2, they come off 4.
And it's Sundin that'll clear Minkler. I talked about how the outside is not your best friend. Well, Sundin made a liar out of me, and it's the first heat race. He completes the pass in the second lane, takes the top spot. Minkler runs second, then it's Warren, Gambacorta, and Trott. And Tyler Trott made a return to Stafford last event 2 Fridays ago, basically saying he wants to go out there and beat Ryan Waterman, who comes in with a 6-race winning streak in the street stock division. Trott runs in 5th for the moment.
He certainly does, and he said, like he promised, the last time he was here, he worked his way to the front of the field and was a challenger. Meanwhile, things start to settle in. Leader is gone. Scott Sundin is the fastest car on the racetrack. Battle is for second. Minkler is there. Glued to his back bumper is Brandon Warren. Warren sees daylight, 2 laps to go. Warren will pull out a line to the bottom of turn 1. Will he complete the mission, or will he have to settle back in for third?
Warren just stays in line. He doesn't force the issue after taking a look to the inside. Warren didn't finish the last street stock feature we ran because of an issue regarding the fuel pump. They were worried it might have been the motor, but it was something else, which is a much better alternative if something is going to go wrong. The white flag waves. Warren ducks to the inside. Minkler throws the block.
Certainly does, and what a block it is. He does a good job of maintaining that number 2 spot. This is the final circuit, the one that counts the most. Second is where the story is. Brandon Warren down underneath Marvin Minkler. Side by side, Scott Sundin's got himself the victory, but look at the battle for second, Bonza.
Going to be a matter of inches, but it's Brandon Warren that takes second at the checkered flag. Marvin Minkler finishes 3rd. Colton Gambacorta 4th. Tyler Trott 5th. The last car to qualify for the handicap is Matt Martell in 6th, with Roger Mayhew and Brennan Mersda closing out the 8-car field.
So there you have it. It is 6 that moves to the big dance, and 2 will be starting further back in the field. Our second qualifying round looks like this. Car number 58 will be starting at the point. From Madison, Connecticut, the Tea Kettle Restaurant of Osebrook car. The driver is David Chiasco.
Outside the front row is the driver from Uncasville, Connecticut, in the Evans Carpentry Services, number 12, P.J. Evans.
Let's take a look at row number 2, starting position number 3. Northeast Truck and Off-Road brings us this strong competitor from Griswold, Connecticut, car 81, Brent Gleason.
Starting 4th is the 49 from Summers, Connecticut. Larrabee's Landscaping gives us Jason Raymond.
Then we go to position number 5. That's the AFAB Labs Resources. Happy birthday, Ling Lee. From Enfield, Connecticut, it is Garrett Pease.
Then it's the man of the hour in the street stock. 6 consecutive wins heading into tonight. From Danielson, Connecticut, the driver of the 75 35, our point leader, Ryan Waterman.
Let's take a look at the final row, starting position number 7. It's the CGK Welding and Fabrication car from Wallingford, Connecticut, car 23, Alex Spinato.
And at the end of the 8-car field is the Florida Gators number 35 for Groton, Connecticut's Herb Carlin.
If you've just joined us, this is round number 2. These are the street stocks tonight in the Call Before You Dig Senators Cup program. A big event for the SK Modifieds, 50 circuits around, extra money, and this is part 2 of a series that is, well, intense. You heard competitors already talk about it earlier in the paddock area. Looks like we're going one more lap before we go to green.
I mentioned Tyler Trott, who competed in the last heat race. He's got 2 cars today. Brought the street stock out for the heat. He also has a late model.
Yes,
and he was
I
practicing
noticed that. Yep.
Now, late models don't have heats today, so what you had in practice is what you got for the feature.
You sure do. And, of course, there were some other little side notes we'll talk about later. There was a buzz in the pit area around the street stocks, and we'll tell you exactly what that situation was. It concerned the number 35 car that is on the racetrack, Herb Carlin's car, and one of the all-time great veteran drivers in modified racing. We'll tell you more of that story. Right now, we'll keep it under wraps, Bonza, because we're about ready to unwrap round number 2.
With David Chasko leading the field to the green flag, P.J. Evans on the outside gets up to speed a little bit quicker than the 58. He's got the edge going to turn 1, and he comes out with the lead.
He certainly does and takes well advantage of that. Meanwhile, second spot becomes the hot spot on the racetrack. Down into turn number 3, Chasko tries to guard the spot, tap to the back bumper. Gleason is there. Here comes Jason Raymond. Raymond has been a strong competitor lately, but hasn't had a lot of luck. Jason Raymond moves into second with ease. Then it's a battle for 4th and 5th.
With Gleason in 4th and a back bumper full of Ryan Waterman as they make their way off of 2. Jason Raymond in 2nd, really happy with this car in practice. Felt like he didn't have to go out for the 2nd round. He was so satisfied. He closes in on Evans, really rolls the center, trying to pull in on that 12.
There's no question about it. Good racing wherever you look in that front pack of cars. Out in front, P.J. Evans' commanding lead is starting to disappear. Who was the fastest car in the last circuit? Well, Bonza, you called it. It was Jason Raymond. That car is not only fast in practice, it's fast in race setup as we're down to 2 to go.
He's about a car length behind P.J. Evans, talking about Jason Raymond, while Ryan Waterman got past Brent Gleason 1 lap ago. This time around, he passes David Chasko to move into 3rd. He's about 6 car lengths behind Raymond down the back straightaway, but Waterman can go into the corner deeper than pretty much anybody else and not lose any time coming off the corner.
Certainly is the case. Back up front, we might have a challenge for the lead. There is less than a quarter of a mile left in the final circuit of a half. Waterman is now the fastest car on the racetrack. P.J. Evans can't believe his mirror. All of a sudden it's full of green, and that green isn't money. It's Jason Raymond.
They make their way through 3 and 4 for the final time. Raymond on the back gate of Evans, not going to push the issue. He'll stay in line as P.J. Evans takes the heat race victory. Jason Raymond 2nd, Ryan Waterman 3rd, David Chasko 4th, followed by Brent Gleason and then Garrett Peace, who qualifies for the handicap. Then it's Herb Carlin and Alex Spinato finishing out the 8-car field.
So there you have it. We've got 12 of the top starters already pre-qualified in the handicap. So now our attention is going to be shifting to the SK Lights. And they have had the strongest field of cars every single Friday night of 2026. There is 3 qualifying rounds of these cars, and let's get to the starting lineup. A feature event winner will be starting in the front row. That's the Spafco race chassis machine. That's the Mohawk Northeast car from Walcott, Connecticut, car number 21, Sammy Anderson.
Next up is the 35 machine from Ashford, Connecticut. The driver is Ben Morrison.
Here's an individual that goes from dirt to asphalt. The Wicked Power Sports machine from Stafford Springs, Connecticut, car number 11. It is Ryan Charland.
Outside the second row from New Hartford, Connecticut, in the Cologianis number 42, Cologianis Racing number 42, Stephen Cologianis.
This guy had a podium run in the Wicked Power Sports number 1. The car prepared by Stash Butova from Stafford Springs, Connecticut, car 1, Bob Charland.
Outside the third row is our point leader in the Yukon number 10, for Seymour, Connecticut's Nick Anglace.
Let's take a look at row number 4, car number 52. Rubo's Auto Center brings us the Waterbury, Connecticut 52 of Anthony Farino.
Next driver, we talked to him earlier today, or Matt and Bob talked, or Matt and I'm blanking out. But they were talking to him earlier today in the number 14 from Quakertown, Pennsylvania. Jones Racing Products gives us Chad Jones.
This car was very quick in practice. The Landworks fence, John G. Poulin drywall car. From North Haven, Connecticut, car 91, Jake Hines.
Rounding out the 10-car field from New Hartford, Connecticut as well, in the Tchaikovsky Racing number 45, Ed Tchaikovsky. And it was Matt and Tim chatting in the pits earlier today. And they were talking to Jones about his season thus far. Still learning his way around the track. Had a couple rough starts early on this season, especially at the Spring Sizzler when he crashed out in his duel and didn't even make the 30-lap main event. But Jones continues to learn, and he's not bashful out there on the track either.
He certainly is not. He's really done a pretty good job rather quickly. Distance is 8 laps, 5 cars to be among the handicap, and it's crucial in this division because it's only a 20-lap feature event. Green, 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 and they are racing, but guess what? It's not going to work. It doesn't stick, so we've got to re-rack the field, as the old saying goes, as they head down the back straightaway, as we are about to try it all over again. Now, remember, last week we had a situation in our SK Lights,
yes.
So we don't want to say the old thing, rinse and repeat, now do we, Bonza?
No, not at all. Let's just hope the second attempt is all we need. Much better this time around. Sammy Anderson had a really good start, already a car length ahead of the field as they race 2 by 2 from second on back with Ryan Charland inside a bend.
Well, comes off the turn like a rocket. Sammy Anderson is at the front, side by side, all the way back to the bottom of the top 10. Here they come back to the stripe, moving quickly into second. It's short-lived. It was Ryan Charland, but Ben Morrison is showing some muscle. On the outside, Morrison moves into second, and here comes the Yukon Husky machine of Nick Anglace. 6th position up to 4. 4 isn't good enough. 3 wide off turn number 4.
Kologianis all the way down in the grass, working the apron, coming off of 4, but didn't have the bite to keep the momentum. Stays in the 3rd row on the inside. 1 car spins at the back of the pack. That's Farino in the 52, Anthony Farino. As the field makes their way into 3, we'll see if Farino gets the car fired up as Anglace works the top, trying to get around Ben Morrison. Caution comes out.
Caution flag comes out, and a car that spins brings out the caution. And, of course, very sadly, he's celebrating a birthday. Not a very good way to do it, and that is Anthony Farino. But he does get it fired back up, and he'll pick up at the rear of the field. You know, interestingly enough, Nick Anglace picked up major sponsorship from the University of Connecticut this season, and he has great aspirations to even move up the food chain. He had an opportunity to put together a truck deal. Unfortunately, it did not work for him, no fault of his own, but he is a great young man. There's a lot of history, Bonzo, with that race car. Do you know that here at Stafford, we used to have a director of competition by the name of Tommy Fox?
Of course.
That was Tommy Fox's original CD car. It's set in Lebanon, Connecticut outside and rusted for many years. And along came Nick Anglace and said, I'll work for the fabricator, which is a gentleman that's an older gentleman, if you give me that chassis. Most people today question, they've got to have the latest and the greatest. That's a reliable old source. Tommy Fox knew what he was doing, and Nick Anglace does now.
Not many chassis dynamics cars these days in the modified scene, but Nick Anglace, a glaring light in that realm of abnormalities. He's in the 2nd spot now, trying to get ahead of Ben Morrison, but Sammy Anderson goes up the track, opens the door for Nick to try and get the lead.
What a great move to the bottom. Sammy Anderson is not afraid of speed. Suddenly, Nick Anglace takes the lead. Way out wide goes Morrison. Inside lane looks racy. All of a sudden, Ryan Charland moves into the 3rd spot. Morrison is on the outside. Sammy Anderson loose a little bit off the turn. 4 cars contending, make it 5, make it 6 for second.
Mind you, top 5 qualify for the handicap, and I'm not sure what happened on this restart, but Sammy Anderson's car is just not going, coming off the throttle or coming off the corner, getting on the throttle. It just seems like she has no drive off and continues to lose time on the outside.
She certainly does, and remember, she needs to be among the top 5. That is currently where she is. But like a swarm of bees rattled in the nest, they are all over her. Behind her, the 91 machine of Jake Hines. Charland is there. Farino is there, along with Jones. Off the turn again, it is still Sammy Anderson in that valuable position, number 5. Twirling twos are in the air, Bonza. 2 circuits to go.
And a spin by Anthony Farino again, this time in turn 3. It looked like Jake Hines backed off to try to get in line behind Bob Charland, and Farino was not ready for it. He got into the back of Hines and spun out. Anthony Farino does get the car fired up. He keeps going. It'll be the white flag at the line. Nick Anglace leads, but that battle for 5th remains hot and heavy.
Here they come back to the stripe, and just like you called it, position number 5. Oh, trouble!
There goes Bob Charland down into Jake Hines. Charland spins on the pit road. Jake Hines is in the middle of turn 1 and 2 in the mini mile. As the field makes their way into turn 3, they have to throw the yellow, so we are not quite done yet with this heat.
We certainly are not. Charland literally came across the front end of the Jake Hines machine. Hines has been very strong in recent weeks, and in reality, so has Bob Charland. So these two, it's just a matter of time before they figure things out and get to the front of the field.
Well, the last time the SK Lights competed was the King of the Crate.
Yes.
2 Wednesdays ago, and Bob Charland finished 3rd in that feature,
on the podium,
leading laps as well.
That's right. His best finish of the season so far. So the Wicked Power Sports machine will pick up at the rear of the field. There won't be a lot of time left. Let's recheck where we are here. Nick Anglace is the leader. Ryan Charland is in second with car number 11. Kalajanis is third. Let's take a look at the replay at top of our screen here.
Charland's going to be way up the track coming off of 4. Looks like he was coming down a little bit into Jake Hines.
You know, it looks like, just like you called it, Bonza, I think he was not aware of the fact that Hines was already there. These cars do not have spotters, so every driver is on their own. So reaction time and awareness of what's around you is the only way that you can keep out of trouble, or in some cases, get in trouble. Here we go. No trouble here. We're back up and ready for the green.
It'll be a 1-lap shootout to the checkered flag with Nick Anglace leading the pack. Ryan Charland had a really good restart trying to stay with Anglace on the outside, but Nick drives it deep into 1, comes out with the lead. Now Kalogiannis looks for second. That 5th spot right now belongs to Chad Jones.
Chad Jones did a great job. He was 8th when we went to the caution on the last time. He's up where he needs to be to 5. Checkered flag is out. Nick Anglace will take down the win. Good run for Ryan Charland to finish in second. Stephen Kalajanis to round out the top 3. Ben Morrison is 4th, and the 5th. And very valuable 5th position goes to Chad Jones, car number 14, with a run from 8th. Just out of the handicap is, of course, drivers like Sammy Anderson, Anthony Farino, Bob Charland, Ed Shikoski, and Jake Hines. So that's it for round number 1. Let's take a peek at round number 2. The drivers in the second qualifying event of 8 laps and 5 for the handicap. Car number 57 will be starting up front. The A-Plus Fire Protections machine. From Stafford Springs, Connecticut, Austin Goff.
Then it's the Skate Kit Property Management number 09, starting second for Westbrook, Connecticut's Cassandra Cole.
Let's take a look at row number 2. This guy, well, he took down an exciting finish in this class. The Courier Excavating car from Coventry, Connecticut, car number 64, Jason Finkbein.
Outside the second row is the number 99 Connecticut Collision Center machine for Springfield, Massachusetts, Dylan Houghton.
Row number 3, car number 51, SAB Tree Experts car. This guy's been very strong lately from Norwich, Connecticut, car 51, Matt Brewer.
So is this guy starting in 6th, one of the more consistent drivers as of late. In the Pro Systems integration number 18, it's Griswold, Connecticut's Tyler Berry.
Let's take a look at the 7th starter, the IDD Industrial Diesel machine from Willington, Connecticut, car number 8, Aiden DeGata.
Starting in 8th is the JRB Customs New Wave Bath 38 from Enfield, Connecticut, Kyle Pinkham.
And picking up at the rear of the field, we welcome this driver back, the Midford Racing machine from Ellington, Connecticut, car number 3, S.R. Midford. So there you have it. Story again is 9 cars looking for 5 among 8 circuits. Here we go. Round number 2. Third qualifier is waiting in the wings. Lights are off of the pace car. Goff has been consistent. Cassandra Cole has been so close each and every Friday night. She leads the strong parade of female drivers here at Stafford.
Black and green, white and green, leading the field to the green, and it's Austin Goff with the jump going into turn 1, followed by the 64 of Jason Finkbein trying to pass Cassandra Cole, but Cole has a good run off of 2. They're neck and neck down the backstretch.
They certainly are, side by side and wheel to wheel. Nobody's going to give an inch. Meanwhile, keep your eyes on that highlighter yellow car. That is Tyler Berry. Barry's coming to the front, the Reese's car of Dylan Houghton. He is a graduate from Monday Night Karts. You wouldn't know he just punched his card as being a graduate because he looks like he's a veteran. Tap to the back bumper, smooch there. Tyler Berry is there as they come off 4.
Houghton trying to work his way past Cassandra Cole for that 3rd spot. Tyler Berry behind him has the final position to qualify for the handicap, but you got a guy like Matt Brewer who has shown more speed this season. He cannot settle running 6th. He needs to find his way forward at least 1 spot.
Meanwhile, it is Houghton who is back there holding on to the 4th spot. Berry pulls it out of line, makes a move. Will it stick? No, it does not. While he's doing that, that works to the advantage of Brewer. We've got literally 6 cars in line. 5 is the magic number, and Berry knows he's in 5th. He'd like to move into the comfort zone. Fastest car in the last circuit, Austin Goff. He's the leader of the pack. Drifts up wide that time, Bonza, off turn 4.
Houghton seems to slide up a little bit, and it's so inviting for Berry, and he's been testing the waters, but he doesn't want to make contact with the 99 of Houghton. This time around, Berry has position down to the inside with Matt Brewer trying to follow through.
He tries to make it stick on the bottom of the racetrack. Houghton isn't afraid to put it out there, but they come off turn number 4. Meanwhile, Berry moves in, takes over the 4th spot. Houghton needs to finish in 5. That's where he is. Brewer is there. Cassandra Cole, the car in 3rd, was the fastest car on the last circuit. Twirling 2s are in the air. 1 mile left in the competition. Top 5 is where you need to be.
Austin Goff leads the pack, but Jason Finkbein is closing in. Finkbein wasn't the happiest with this car after the first round of practice, saying they had a push to it, but so far he's able to keep that car in the bottom lane and gain a little bit on Austin Goff. The question is, how much do you really want to win the heat race and put yourself in a compromising spot? He's on the back bumper of Goff with 1 lap to go.
Well, we know that Goff's, toughest or Achilles heel is turn number 4. On the last circuit, that car drifted way up high. Top 3 coming to the finish. Top 5 is where it is. Meanwhile, look at Brewer. He just dove down underneath Houghton. It didn't stick. Checkered flag is out. And Austin Goff will take down the victory. Jason Finkbein will finish in 2nd, fastest lap of the race. Cassandra Cole in 3rd. Tyler Berry is 4th, and Dylan Houghton, the youngster from Monday Night Karts, will round out the top 5. 6th through 9th, Bonza, what do we have there?
Well, Matt Brewer tried to get inside of Houghton in turn 3 on the last lap, and Houghton said no, came down in front of Brewer. A very smart defensive move by Houghton to hold on to 5th. Brewer finishes 6th. S.R. Midford finishes 7th, and it's Aiden DeGata and Kyle Pinkham rounding out the 9-car field.
So next we have our 3rd and final qualifier for the SK Lights. A brand new motor is the story in car number 55 that starts at the point. The Akari Motor Sales Machine from Somers, Connecticut, Paul Akari.
Next to him is the driver from Barkhamsted, Connecticut in the Canton Well Drilling number 41, Travis Downey.
Let's take a look at row number 2, car number 75. Jim Chipotle family racing car from Enfield, Connecticut, Casey Vaux.
Starting 4th is the Pro Automotive number 34 for Oxford, Massachusetts, Dalton McCarthy.
Brand new paint job, brand new sponsorship. It's the Mohawk. Sponsored number 32, the Dell's Vinyl Siding car. From Milford, Connecticut, car 32, feature event winner, Robert Bloxham III.
On his flank is a 2-time winner this year from Stafford Spring, Connecticut, Vernon Chevrolet gives us Chris Matthews.
Row number 4, position number 7. Car number 17, it is Glenn Barkowski from Manchester, Connecticut, the Barkowski Racing Car.
Outside of row 4 in the number 19 from Stonington, Connecticut, sponsored by Spathco Race Chassis, it's John Brunel.
And starting scratch, he returns to the competition, the Wicked Power Sports number 87, owned by Joey Farino. It is Mark Buckeye. Buckeye once was one of the strongest guys in this class, took some time off to be a family man, and has decided to come back and test the waters a little bit again. So we'll see what's going to happen. Interesting, car number 29.
Yeah, Chris Matthews dropping to the rear, and he is well off the pack. I think he's coming down pit road. Something might be wrong with his car, and it feels like deja vu. That's happened to him a couple times this year.
Certainly has, and that is the story. Car 29 is out of the event. The green flag comes out. It is a rookie to the outside of one of the sophomore. Oh, trouble. Off the turn, all of a sudden, Akari's car, it did not fire for some reason. He moved from first all the way back to fourth, but for Travis Downey, the rookie, he's being hunted down by Casey Vogue.
Arcari got loose coming off of 2, did a good job saving it, and the field around him did a good job staying away from him while he was hanging onto the car, further avoiding trouble. Now he's got Robert Bloxham the third. Got to get used to that new wrap, that mohawk look on Bloxham's car. He runs in 5th as they're side-by-side for the lead. Casey Vogt having contact with Travis Downey.
Well, they came off the turn, they clinged and they clanged, but all of a sudden, they're side-by-side, and we've got a brand new leader. Casey Vogt takes over the lead from Travis Downey. While that is happening, Dalton McCarthy, who was quick in practice today, is even quicker in this qualifying round. He's in 3rd. Keep your eyes for the 4th and the 5th position as Bloxham in that Mohawk car is all over Akari. Top 5, not stringing it out. No one's getting away. Here comes Bloxham.
Bloxham with the classic high-low method. He went in way high in turn 1, cut down to the bottom coming off of 2 to get under Arcari, and he completes the pass coming off of 4, moves into 4th, trying to gain ground on the top 3, which run nose to tail.
Certainly is, and what a race it is. Back up front, top 3 are single file. Look a little further back. All of a sudden, here comes Buckeye. Buckeye moves in, goes around Paul Akari almost, but it doesn't stick. He is forced to back out of it again. 5 of 8 circuits. That's for position number 5. That is the spot on this racetrack that is crucial. Buckeye was reeling him in, and then all of a sudden, he backed right out of it.
Well, that was 2 cars fighting for 1 lane, which only fits 1 car. Buckeye wanted to get inside of Arcari. Arcari said, no, you may not, and came down on Buckeye. Tough to tell really who you put that on. It's just hard racing for that final spot in the handicap. Mark Buckeye making a return in the Wednesday event a couple weeks ago, finished in the top 10, trying to break into the top 5 here, while Dalton McCarthy tries to work his way past Travis Downey.
Well, McCarthy tests the waters. The white flag is out. No surrendering in the battle for 2nd. Meanwhile, look a little further back, position number 5, side by side, and guess what? It is Buckeye who moves in to the top 5. That's where he needs to be. Off the turn, black and white is about to wave. It is Casey Vogt to take down the win. Travis Downey to finish in 2nd. Dalton McCarthy was 3rd. Robert Bloxham was 4th. And Mark Buckeye from scratch would finish among the top 5. Who would not make it 6 through 9?
Paul Arcari, Glenn Barkowski, and John Brunel did not make the handicap, and Paul Arcari tried coming to the white flag. Buckeye got to his inside. Arcari tried to pinch him down, but Buckeye kept his nose in it and made the pass, so Buckeye gets a better qualifying spot. Arcari will have some work to do.
Certainly will, and coming up next on our program will be the limited late models, and we've had a great field of these cars, Bonza, all season long. The distance for these guys is 8 laps. There will be 2 qualifying runs and 7 among the preferred starting spots. Car number 24 will be starting up front, and that, of course, is Kyle Therio out of Three Rivers, Massachusetts, the J.P. McCarthy & Sons WGF building car.
Starting in position 2 is a 2-time limited late model champion from Palmer, Massachusetts, sponsored by Surdell Motorsports, Dwayne Provost.
Let's take a look at the third starter. He's been turning some heads lately. It's the Root Auto Repair car from Old Saybrook, Connecticut, car number 80, Norm Root III.
A couple teammates lined up on the outside row. Starting fourth is the number 83 Rob Russell chassis machine from Wellington, Connecticut, R.J. Surdell.
Let's take a look at row number 3, car number 6. This is one of the great veteran all-time champions. Besides that, he is a true sportsman. The L&S Equipment machine from Windsor Locks, Connecticut, the Lavoie family race car. Car number 6, Jeremy Lavoie.
And starting sixth is our most recent winner and defending champion from Woodbury, Connecticut, sponsored by R&R General Repair and Vandy Auto Parts. It's Travis Hydar.
Daddy O's Honey brings us car number 42 from Northford, Connecticut. It is Dana Ray.
Car number 8 starts in 8th. Black Widow Motorsports, the sponsor for Union, Connecticut's Tyler Secor.
To use Bonza's line, car number 9 starts in 9th. It is the Joe's Fish Shack machine from Canton, Connecticut for Connor Jensick.
And making a return for the first time in a while from Plainville, Connecticut in the CSB Communications number 19, it's Adrian Paradise III, followed by Dave Secor in the 38, sponsored by Joseph Nazo Restoration Company from Union, Connecticut.
Here we go. Off turn number 4. Little interesting on the start, but when they got things settled back in, it looks like Kyle Therio is going to be the leader, but will it stick? Dwayne Provost making a move on the outside. His teammate, R.J. Surdell, running in his tire tracks. 5 up front. We need to have 7. They come off the turn. Therio is still the leader of the pack. But boy, have we got a charge to get to the front of this field.
Norm Root now on the inside of Provost, who slid a little sideways coming off of 4. Same goes for R.J. Surdell, who falls outside the top 5, but does get in line in front of Tyler Secor and Adrian Paradise III as the battle for second continues.
It continues, and what a battle it is. All of a sudden, Root guards the inside lane. Lavoie looks for some real estate. Provost is there. The door opens. Lavoie finds an opportunity to move into third. Will it stick? Off turn number 2. They call this forward bite on exit, and Lavoie has it. And running in his tire tracks, Travis Hydar, always among the fastest cars in this division. Car number 11.
He's on the inside of Dwayne Provost, and Provost has to be thinking, please let me have an opening to the inside. We'll see if his teammate Surdell cuts him a break. Hydar is going to get past Provost at some point. He has the preferred lane on the inside. Hydar takes 4th. Provost able to get in line, and I think Surdell did give him a little bit of a break.
Certainly did. And then the 19 car is right there, Adrian Paradis. They come off the turn, halfway down, halfway to go. Single file this circuit, no one stepping out of line. 7th car is the 19 car. That is, of course, Adrian Paradis. That is exactly where he needs to be. Nobody is looking to, well, give away a spot or a part of the real estate that'll start them further back in the main event.
It's good to see Paradise back. He missed multiple events because he blew a motor in practice on a Friday night. It's his first race back, and I was talking to Grace DeRozier, who is part of the crew on the 19 team, and she felt like Paradise was pretty satisfied with the car, and Adrian knows he has to play catch up a little bit because he missed several weeks, but critically he's got that last spot in the handicap, but Connor Jensick's only 2 car lanes back.
Certainly is, and he's getting closer, and we've got less than 2 circuits.
Trouble, turn 4, Dave Secor spins at the back of the pack, comes to rest backwards in the restart box. We'll wait and see if he gets the car fired up. He is in the racing groove because the limiteds use the apron and they have to throw the caution.
Well, he tried to get it fired back up, and it did, but just, well, we'll call a blink of an eye after the caution flag comes out, and he'll pick up at the rear of the field in this one. This is going to change things quite a bit. You're looking at the situation. 6 of 8 laps are all but gone. Who is the fastest car on the racetrack? Not the leader, by the way. Travis Hydar, who was running in the 4th position, is the guy that was among the quickest, not just in the last circuit, in the previous 3 laps as well. So let's see what's going to happen. The Monaco Safety Services crew checks out the racing surface to make sure everything is A-OK. You know, there's a lot going on here at the Speedway in weeks to come, and we certainly want to see you here. For those of you that tune in on Flow, come visit with us. Here's what's going on. We've got a lot left to happen. July 31st, weekly racing continues with the SKs, the SK Lights, Limiteds, late models, and of course the street stocks. The 13th annual Napa SK 5K is coming up on August 7th. And then it's back to weekly racing on August 14th. Then on August 21st, this is hard to believe, Bonza, it's back to school kids night.
Don't tell the kids that.
Oh my God, it seems like they just got out of school. Presented by Mayberry, and that's a big night of racing on the 21st. And then of course, the Riverhead Building Supply 150, the NASCAR Wheel and Modified Tour comes back to Stafford Speedway. Back to Bonzo right now.
Kyle Terrio with the lead. He has contact with Norm Root and actually got crossed up going into the corner. Gathered it up and stays alongside Root, and he's got the preferred line down the bottom. And Terrio's crew made a lot of changes, a lot of looks, took a look over the car. I shouldn't say they made a lot of changes, but they found a couple things to try and get that 24 car to handle better. He has the lead with the white flag up.
He does, and Root literally slides the front bumper across his back bumper. Remember, the story is this, is 7 circuits. Count them back and figure out right now the battle for the 7th position is between Serdell and Connor Jensick, and I think Jensick has it. But what's going to happen at the stripe? Checkered flag is out. Kyle Terrio will take down the win. Norman Root will finish in 2nd. Jeremy Lavoie is 3rd. Travis Hightower is 4th. Dwayne Provost will be 5th. Adrian Paradise will be 6th. And the crucial 7th spot, Connor Jensick pulls it off in the last circuit. Who will not be in the preferred handicap, Bonzo?
RJ Serdell, who was on the outside for that last restart, and it cost him. He's going to finish 8th in this heat, which means he'll start 15th in the feature.
Ooh.
Then you have Dave Secor, Tyler Secor, and Dana Ray rounding out the 8-car field.
So round number 2 for the limited late models, a very talented driver of the Northern Maine Firewood car, number 67 from Uncasville, Connecticut, will start at the point for Aaron Plemons.
Next to him is the Strebel Trucking number 28 from Tolland, Connecticut, former champion Rich Hammond.
Real personality in this division and feature event winner. Dunning Industries brings us to New Hartford, Connecticut, number 22 for Gary Patno.
Starting 4th from Canton, Connecticut in the West Side Oil, number 23, it's Devin Jensick.
A former champion, the Tri-State Equipment Repair, number 55. From Somers, Connecticut, keep your eyes on this guy, Jason Lafayette.
To his flank from Springfield, Vermont in the Winter Motorsports number 74, it's Matt Winter II.
Then we go to car number 2, the Deuce, in the Century Tool Precision Machine car from Thompson, Connecticut, it's Tim Poulin.
In the 8th spot in car number 82 from Pasco, Rhode Island in the New England Chipper Repair Machine, it's Samantha Dell.
Let's take a look at the final row, the car Gorilla Machine, car number 17 from Troutman, North Carolina, it is Aaron Jensick.
And then completing the 10-car field is the teamschoice.com number 44 for Durham, Connecticut's Shelby Swan.
So there you have it. Second qualifying round and final qualifier for this one. And it's good to see Aaron Jensick back in the competition, picked up a brand new sponsor, Card Gorilla. We'll find out more about that. Very interesting situation. Adds a little pink to her car, and she is one of the ones to watch. We've seen her run very strong at times. Here they come off turn number 4. Plemons and Rich Hammond, one of the all-time greats in this division.
Dead even at the start. Top 7 finishers qualify for the handicap in our final limited late model heat, and we have contact in turn 1 back in the 4th row. It was between Matt Winter II and Tim Poulin. Winter saved the car. Poulin slowly coming to a stop, coming off of turn 2 as the field comes off of turn 4. Poulin does come to a stop as the field completes the first lap. Plemons has the lead, followed by Pat and Hammond side by side.
There's no question about it. The caution will fly underneath the wheel inside. We've got the car of Poulin that stopped on the racetrack. He was trying to get it fired back up. It just didn't seem to work. Aaron Plemons was the fastest guy in the first circuit, but we've got a ways to go in this one. 7 more laps, and of course, the mighty number of 7. And we were seeing things get really heated up front. Rich Hammond is a driver, Bonza, that has raced in almost every division that we've had here at this speedway. He is the guy next door that you love to have for a neighbor because he is one of the old school tough guys. But if you know him, he's like a big teddy bear, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and when he's having a good day, he can be someone to have a good time with, as Tim Poulin is making his way down pit road. So there's something wrong mechanically with that car. Here's a replay of what happened. Winter on the outside of the third row tries to get to the bottom. Tough to tell if Poulin wasn't all the way down there or if Winter tried to come down, but whatever contact they had, Winter hung on to the car, and Poulin's car is bouncing, so something happened in the right front.
Yeah, it did, obviously did. I want to give a shout out in that one, though, to Samantha Dell. She went way up high on the outside of the racetrack, managed to get through that situation. Now, she's a graduate from Quarter Midget Racing as a youngster. She works at a speed parts place, which is called Northeast Race Cars in Manchester, Connecticut, with the guy that owns the car, Scotty Nordman. So she's really a person that enjoys racing to the fullest, as she did a great job of missing that situation there. Here we go. Off turn number 4. Clemens is shown as the quickest. Will it stick? And look at Hammond. They're as close as it can be. 2 black cars. Now let's throw in the 22.
Not much room coming off of 2. Clemens went up the track, opened the door, and they're 3 wide for the lead in the heat race as they make their way into the third corner. It's Hammond that comes out with the lead. Patnode in second, while Clemens gets shuffled back to third.
While that has been happening, 1 car is sideways coming off the turn. That is Devin Jensick, car number 23. He manhandles the automobile. He's in the 5th spot. 6th position is Matt Winters, who comes all the way down from Vermont. 7th position is Ari Jensick. 1 out of the handicap is Samantha Dell. All of a sudden, oh, look at Matt Winters. He's using the front end of that car as kind of a, well, wait, battering ram a bit in that one, coming off turn number 4.
Maybe it's motivation to try and get Devin to go a little quicker because Matt Winter feels like he's faster than that 23. But mind you, he's in the 6th spot. The top 7 qualify for the handicaps. Not only is he in, he has a bit of a cushion because Ari Jensick runs in 7th, and she's about 4 car lengths behind him.
Well, they're given the halfway marker. 4 of the 8 circuits are all but gone. Hammond now out in front, clean air. He is the fastest car on the racetrack. He leads by .492 over Gary Patnode. That's a pretty stout amount of margin and speed as he comes back to the line. I think Jason Lafayette is playing it cool. He settled back into the 4th spot. Devin Jensick is 5th. Matt Winters is 6th. And Ari Jensick knows he's got to finish among those top 7 cars, and she is in the 7th position. Twirling 2s are in the air, 2 circuits to go.
Jason Lafayette really floored it, trying to get inside of Clemens and got into the 67. Clemens hung on to the car. He will fall behind Jason Lafayette, who takes 3rd. Clemens went up the track a bit, and Lafayette just went for it, and Clemens tried to hold his ground. They banged doors.
They certainly did. They swapped a little paint, swapped the doors, and maybe a fender or 2 in that one. As they come off turn number 4, white flag is out. No surrendering in this one. These guys played hardball the entire time.
I've said it before, it's a heat race. There's no need to push the issue, but you can't help it with race car drivers sometimes. Clemens now under pressure as he gets hit in the left rear, this time by Winter. Winter climbs over the left front of Clemens' car. Clemens is in the grass, hangs on to the car as Rich Hammond will lead the field coming off of 4.
He comes back to the stripe, and here we have it. It's all into the record books. Hammond will take down the win. Impressive run for him. Gary Patnode will finish in 2nd. Jason Lafayette is 3rd. Matt Winters is 4th. Devin Jensick will round out the top 5. Aaron Clemens is in 6th. 7th and crucial goes to Ari Jensick. She does a good job to finish in the 6th spot. And now we've got an adjustment, it looks like, in the finish, and Sammy Dell will move into the 7th spot.
Because Matt Winter II has been black flagged for the contact with Aaron Plemons coming off of turn 2. So Winter gets placed as the last car on the lead lap, which means he'll finish 9th behind Shelby Swan, who ended up 8th, while Tim Poulin could not even complete a lap as he ran into trouble. He finishes out the 10-car field.
Certainly does, and of course, coming up next is going to be our SK Modified qualifying heats. So here come the mighty SK Modifieds, the stars of the night. For the Call Before You Dig Senators Cup, and round number 1 will look like this. It will be the number 71 starting at the point. Car number 71, of course, is Alexander Pearl from Salem, Connecticut, the Bob Valenti family of dealerships.
You're taking a look at the replay of the incident on the last lap between Winter and Plemons. On the outside, the front rows, the Cooker Construction number 81, 3-time champion from Somers, Connecticut. It's Todd Owen in the 81.
Row number 2 to the inside, Morrison Construction. Car number 05 from Ashford, Connecticut, Josh Morrison.
Outside the second row is the 01 from Colchester, Connecticut. In the Chassis Pro machine, it's Brian Narducci.
Row number 3, Wheeler's Auto Service, number 88. Feature event winner from North Haven, Connecticut, the pride of Italy, Marcello Ruffano.
Outside the third row is the driver from Auburn, Massachusetts in the Avery Construction Corporation, number 2, Megan Fuller.
Here's a guy that was a standout in the limited, in the SK Lights, car number 57. One of the Keith Rocco race cars. It is the very talented Nicholas Hovey.
Next to him is the number 12, longtime veteran from Windsor, Connecticut. All crate gives us Art Caruso.
And starting scratch, it's the Belltown Motors, number 25, another Chassis Pro car from East Hampton, Connecticut, Anthony Flannery. 5 cars to transfer, 8 laps the distance. This is the fastest division of the night. Remember, Bonza, earlier today, Brian Narducci said that he had a fast race car the last time, but he felt that he has been able to fine-tune it even more. And he thinks tonight's the night that car number 1 will be number 1 in the Call Before You Dig Senators Cup of 50 laps. Here they come, winding them up tight. This is our SK Modifieds top 5 cars, and we are racing.
With this being a Triple Crown race, it's going to be a plus-minus system, not the handicap like you normally see. So passing cars are going to be crucial as they're almost 3 wide off of 2. Pearl has the lead, followed by Owen, Narducci, and then it's Fuller side-by-side with Morrison, with Ruffano trying to come through.
Ruffano looks for some real estate that doesn't exist. They're almost 3 wide. The 05 literally shuts the door. Megan Fuller moves into the 4th spot. It's short-lived. They cling and they clang. Off the turn, Morrison is up to 4. Meanwhile, look out, here comes Marcello Ruffano. He's going for the 5th spot. All of a sudden, Megan Fuller is right there and digging in hard in the outside lane.
Yeah, Fuller lost ground last time by in turn 1 because Josh Morrison ran her up the track a little bit, allowing Ruffano to get to her inside. As they race side by side, bar to bar down the backstretch, Ruffano takes the spot. Now here comes Hovey.
Hovey making his presence known. He comes alongside, rubs rails. They come off the turn. Car number 57 moves into the 6th spot for Nicholas Hovey, bouncing Megan Fuller back. Let's go back up front. Here comes Narducci, fastest car on the racetrack. Car number 1, position number 3. Halfway down, here comes Todd Owen. He takes a look to the bottom of Pearl. Here comes Narducci. He's making his presence known. Ooh, they almost touched Bonza in that battle there.
That was close. Those are Chassis Pro teammates going at it. Narducci barely got a tire in there. Owen didn't give him much room. Narducci tried to force it, and that almost went bad. Thankfully, they came out the other side with Pearl loving it because he's trying to pull away, but Owen closes back in.
Certainly does. Ruffano now is the quickest car. He's back in the 5th position. Ruffano looks to reel in on our 4th place car. Dives down to the inside. Josh Morrison, in the blink of an eye, he can't believe it. 2 cars look almost identical, but who's going to have the 4th spot?
At the line, it was Rafrano, and he has the bottom lane, and he'll complete the pass in the 1. Top 3 locked together, bumper to bumper. Owen almost got into the left rear. Pearl coming off of 2, had to back out of it. Narducci tried to capitalize, couldn't do it. Now here's Owen to the inside of Pearl.
White flag is out. They're side by side as they come to the stripe. Todd Owen making his presence known. Rim riding is the old saying on the bottom of the racetrack. It is Owen and Pearl. Pearl comes off the turn like a rocket. Narducci says, Todd, get out of my way, as they come off turn number 4. And here comes Rafano. Checkered flag is out.
It's Todd Owen that'll take down the heat race victory. Alexander Pearl winds up second, just ahead of Brian Narducci, who finishes third, followed by Marcello Rafrano, Nick Hovey, Josh Morrison, Megan Fuller, Art Caruso, and Anthony Flannery, who parked it with a couple laps to go. Now, with the plus-minus system, you really have to be aggressive.
You do. Yes, you do. And we're seeing that aggression. Interestingly enough, Nicholas Hovey, the 57, was the fastest car in the last 3 laps, but he ended up finishing in the 5th spot. So just goes to show you the strategy and how some of this stuff ends up working.
By the way, we've been told that Chris Matthews will be driving Ed Chikoski's number 45.
And so the plague, that problem that Matthews continues to have is one of those, those things that make you go,
yeah.
What is the story?
Thank you, Tim Perkoski, for that report.
And round number 2 for the SK Modifieds. Car number 99 will be starting at the point. That is the Landworks fence. A.J. Waste, John Guy Poulin drivewell car. From North Haven, Connecticut, Tyler Hines.
Starting second is the Monaco Ford number 75 for Stafford, Connecticut's David Arute.
Here's a kid that's had some good runs, driving the SAM & Sons construction car. From Stafford Springs, Connecticut, car 23, Wesley Pucker.
Next to him is our most recent winner in the Casella Waste Systems number 6, Worcester, Massachusetts, Troy Talman.
Let's take a look at row number 3, defending champion, Vinny Beatles, Mr. Rooter Machine. From Brantford, Connecticut, it is JP, Jonathan Pulio.
On the outside of him is Kid Rock, starting in the 6th spot, a former winner of the Senators Cup in the number 22 machine, sponsored by Horsepower Hill Farm. From Berlin, Connecticut, Keith Rocco.
Let's take a look at the final row, B&B Performance, car number 8, out of East Haven, Connecticut, it is Josh Zentak.
And finishing out the 8-car field in the number 70, sponsored by Mayberry Material Handling. From East Longmeadow, Massachusetts, it's Wade Gagner.
So there you have it. In practice today, Keith Rocco was the quickest car. It was that story there. Andrew Moeller was second fastest, and third fastest was JP, Jonathan Pulio. Here's the green. David Arute up on the outside, looking racy as they come off the turn. But to the inside, the advantage goes on the bottom of the racetrack. Like a swarm of bees, they come back to the stripe, with the advantage going to Tyler Hines.
Tyler Hines making one of a few appearances this year in the SK Modifieds. He has the lead, and they're boxed up behind him. Wesley Prucker's now on the inside of David Arute, who came off a 2nd place finish the last time the SK Modifieds were in action, trying to stave off Prucker on the outside.
Well, Talman was the big feature of winner the last time we were here. They come off the turn, and Talman is a little bit loose that time. He tries to gather it back into line. Prucker is there. 5 cars make it 6. Then we've got a side-by-side battle behind them at the bottom of the field. But all eyes are on turn number 4. They come off the turn, back to the stripe, a little stutter step, but it is still the 99. David Arute is throwing everything at it, including the kitchen sink.
He's
trouble.
loose. He got loose going into turn 1. I'm not sure if Prucker got into the back of him. Arute did a good job saving it, but he falls to the back of the field in last place. Up front, it's Tyler Hines with Troy Talman now in 2nd, followed by Rocco.
Rocco is right there in that 3rd spot, and he literally puts the front bumper right across the I-beam bumper of the back of Talman's car. Here comes Rocco. Tries to snake his way down the back straightaway. If you've ever been to New Hampshire International and you saw the Modifieds run, that's the way they look when they're drafting down the front straightaway. Look at Rocco. He is trying everything Talman has got to go or not go, and Rocco is there.
I think Rocco's pushing Talman all the way around the track. He started pushing him down the backstretch and just would not relent until now. Talman is on the inside of Hines for the lead. 2 laps to go at the stripe. Rocco is just finding any possible way to get past both of them. First, he has to get by Hines before setting his sights on Talman.
Certainly does, and he has just done that. It is Hines who drops back to the 3rd spot. Julio is the fastest car. He's back in 4th. White flag is out. If you think this is over with, you are wrong, because watch what happens in turn 2, and it's going to be carried all the way down to turn number 3.
Rocco's car pushed up a little bit coming off of 2. Talman had a really good corner, stays ahead by a car length, and he'll lead the field coming off of 4. Checkered flag is out. Troy Talman will take the heat race victory. Keith Rocco finishes 2nd, followed by Tyler Hines, John Julio, and rounding out the top 5 is Wesley Prucker.
So there you have it. Wow. The competition is really getting heated up. The intensity is there for the call before you dig. Senators Cup, 50 laps. You just witnessed just a, well, we'll call it a test, and that's all.
Well, you got Wade Gagner 6th, Josh Zentek 7th, and David Arud. He's going to have a lot of work to do. He started towards the front, got knocked sideways, and he'll be going from the very back of the field for tonight's 50-lapper.
He sure will, and he was really manhandling that race car, no doubt there. Car number 11 will be starting at the point, and that, of course, is the Hummels hot dog machine, prepared by Eddie Flemke and John Hummel. It is car number 11. The driver is Andrew Moeller.
On his outside is the number 10 Avery Construction Corporation machine from Wilbraham, Massachusetts. It's Glenn Reen.
Place Motors brings us car number 24. This kid is strong. From Hamden, Massachusetts, the talented Mikey Flynn.
Then it's the Chapman Apartment Homes number 41 for Ellington, Connecticut's Tyler Chapman.
Car number 76 is the Tom Bowles Motors car. From Monroe, Connecticut, it is Dylan Izzo.
In position 6 is the 79 from Canterbury, Connecticut, sponsored by Seals It. It's Ethan DeRocher.
Final row, car number 63, Flamia Motorsports car from Waterbury, Connecticut. It is David Flamia Jr.
And rounding out the field is the Brainerd Motorsports number 96 for longtime veteran Kurt Brainerd of Canton, Connecticut.
Cross flags of the starters stand. Mike Helberg is there. Race control, looking things over, keeping the playing field as fair as possible. And they do an outstanding job at it.
Now, Andrew Moeller, subbing for Matt Basser a couple of races ago, actually ended up on the podium, finishing 3rd.
Yes.
And Moeller feels like these longer distance races, like the 50-lapper tonight,
they appeal
suit to his driving style, being one of the more patient drivers in the field.
Certainly is. He's a very talented young man. He represented this speedway well during his championship year, and now he's looking to make some, well, moves that puts him into the front pack of cars. What a drag race. Down into turn number 1, but you have to turn, of course, left. And right now, it is Moeller who is there, but look at Glenn Reen. Plenty of giddy up there. The Avery number 10 is the brand new leader.
Shot out of a cannon to take the lead from the outside. Moeller took a peek, trying to get the nose inside of Reen coming off of 4, but couldn't do it. He runs in the 2nd spot. Reen slides up a lane through 1 and 2, but Moeller can't capitalize, while Tyler Chapman is bar to bar with Mikey Flynn.
Chapman looks racy on the outside. He's got a car that sticks. Ethan DeRocher trying to stay with Chapman. They come off the turn. Meanwhile, it is still Moeller trying to put the hot dog machine into the inside of Glenn Reen. Reen says he's no fool. He's not going to open that door. He runs him down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to make him try to go to the outside. Ooh. Tap to the back bumper, off turn 4.
Yeah, Moeller is able to get through the center of the corner better, and Reen down the backstretch protected the inside line, keeping his car in the middle of the racetrack. He does hold on to the lead because of that, but Moeller's still there, followed by Tyler Chapman, Mikey Flynn, and then it's Dylan Izzo trying to get past Ethan DeRocher.
That's a good battle right there. Dylan Izzo in a backup automobile for the Bowles camp, trying everything, halfway down and halfway to go. The 179, of course, part of the Jensen stable for Ethan DeRocher. Let's go back up front. Moeller taps the back bumper again. Hello, he's there. Here comes Chapman. Wait a minute, here comes Izzo. They're all coming off turn number 4 in a scramble to get to the front.
Izzo got a little loose coming off of 4 and couldn't take advantage of getting to the inside of DeRocher. And Reen once again blocked the inside lane, so Moeller had nowhere to go when he got the run off the corner. He gets in the Reen again, while Izzo takes another shot at DeRocher.
Izzo does a good job, pulls off the slide move, makes it work and makes it stick. He now moves in. Dylan Izzo in the top 5. DeRocher drops back to the 6th position. Andrew Moeller has lost his patience, I think, with Glenn Reen. Glenn Reen, well, he's being, tantalized a bit from Moeller and, of course, from Chapman.
Well, Reen's got to protect that lead because he doesn't want to hurt his starting position any further with the white flag in the air. Moeller gets better drive off each time, but he's not going to try and dive to the inside and risk his car, but he does keep getting into the back of Reen. Message sent, but it's Glenn Reen that'll take down the final heat race victory. Andrew Moeller finishes 2nd, Tyler Chapman 3rd, Mikey Flynn 4th, then it's Dylan Izzo, Ethan DeRocher, Kirk Brainerd, and David Flamia Jr. finishing out the field.
Wow, there you have it. We have had our top 3 qualifying events for the SK Modifieds. And now things are going to, well, happen backstage because everybody is preparing for tonight's big event. The SK Modifieds, the Cove Before You Dig Senators Cup. Want to remind everybody, the best place perhaps to watch if you like an adult beverage is the Double Hook, which is located off turn number 4. Next to that is the novelty booth with all your favorite souvenir items as well.
We hope you enjoyed the coverage of our heats. For those who might be watching on Facebook and YouTube, tune in to Flow Racing for the rest of the action as the features are coming up next.
Forms of sports, there are events that mean a little bit more. Horse racing has the Triple Crown. Golf and tennis have their Grand Slams, and NASCAR has their Crown Jewels. Here at Stafford, the SK Modifieds have the Sign Pro Triple Crown, which includes tonight's Call Before You Dig Senators Cup. Last month, the track's defending champion won the first of the 3 Triple Crown races, taking the checkered flag in the Casella 80. Tonight, Julio returns and will be joined by the rest of the stars of Stafford's premier division. It's part of a full night of short track racing featuring all 5 weekly divisions. The Call Before You Dig Senators Cup, round 2 of the Sign Pro Triple Crown for the SK Modifieds is coming up next.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the show. Our attention now shifts down to Napa Victory Lane as we introduce our 3rd member of our broadcast team, the veteran Dave Baraball. Dave, what a great night for racing.
Certainly has been, and welcome everyone to Stafford Speedway, those of you here at the half mile and joining us at home on Flow, as we present tonight the Call Before You Dig Senators Cup for the SK Modifieds. But before we can start tonight's racing action, we ask at this time that you please rise if you can and remove your caps and hats, as it's time to honor America and the women and men of our armed forces, both past and present, with the singing of our national anthem. Joining us tonight is Plainville, Connecticut's Julia Lawson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
July 24th, the 205th day of the year and the 9th Friday night of racing here at Stafford this season. On this date in 1982, Survivor's Eye of the Tiger topped the charts for the first time, and it's where the stadium anthem would remain for 6 weeks before going double platinum later that summer. Two fish were in a tank. One looked at the other and said, "How do you drive this thing?" Yes, today is Old Joke Day. July 24th acts as a reminder to dust off your favorite classic jokes. Here at the racetrack in 1998, Mike Stefanik won the 150-lap NASCAR Busch North Series race, beating Rick Fuller to the checkered flag in a photo finish. He would go on to win that year's NASCAR Busch North Series championship. And it was on this date in 2005, Keith Rocco won his very first feature event here at the track. That night's 40-lap SK Modified feature, holding off Kenny Horton, Ronnie Silk, Ted Christopher, and Donnie Leah. Rocco currently has 86 wins here and is second on the track's all-time win list.
Keeping your community safe has never been more important. Visiting CBYD.com or calling 811 before digging in Connecticut is the free and easy way to ensure safety at home, safety on the job, and safety for your community by protecting the critical underground infrastructure that we rely on every single day. Safety is in your hands. Every dig, every time. CBYD.com.
A big thank you to the companies involved in awarding nearly $500 in post-race contingency bonuses to our top late model finishers. Our race winner will